new members and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. And this evening's live will go over the fact that XRP has formed the inverse head and shoulders formation. It'll go unnoticed by many in the cryptocurrency community. As I've noticed, a lot of people have tuned out, and that's okay. I'm going to continue to do these updates, continue to do the lives, and if for any other reason for historical data, and if we don't have the biggest back and forth for the near future, that's okay as well. It doesn't really bother me either way. I'm here to put the information out, and most times it helps me focus when there's less of a back and forth, let's just say. So I think what's going unnoticed here is this inverse head and shoulders that I've been trying to bring to the forefront here for the last few days. But a lot of people, I've noticed, I can see, I can feel it. I cover XRP every day. I see the community firsthand. I see the buzz that goes around, and I understand that it's a lot of people are not happy anymore, and a lot of people are just sick of waiting around. Kryptonian, welcome in along with Wales. Thank you both for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Jan, welcome in, love, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. JW, good evening, my friend, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge, along with Jason Seta. Welcome in. Dano, yes, my son is doing much, much better. Much, much better. He actually finished his first week of school last week, which was a blessing, so I thank you for that. Mark Caston, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Stouffer, welcome in. I appreciate you tuning in, my friend. But we do have a lot to get into this evening with XRP. A lot of optimism here. I believe the XRP Bitcoin pairing is very undervalued right now. I don't know exactly how far, if it can go down to the 762 level or not, but we'll see in due time. But we'll go over that chart. Jorge, welcome in. Mario Louise Willamese, good evening. Brave Sigma, yo, my friend, good evening. Plague, welcome in. Harvey Boy, thanks for tuning in and being in Tom's Army for 6 months or 3 months with the XRP Meteor Plus. Cleo, good evening. Moza here, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army now for Mo. Is that 6 months with the XRP Predictor now? Or is that 3 with the Predictor? See, I always mix it up. Either the Predictor's 3 months and the Meteor's 6 months, or the Meteor's 3 months and the Predictor's 6 months. I always mess it up. Okay, so that's okay. So, Wales, thank you for being in Tom's Army for 6 months with the XRP Meteor. I thought so only because I knew Mo was a 2 months, and now he's 3 months in Tom's Army. So thank you, Mo, for upping for 3 months with the XP Predictor. I really appreciate that. So, and this, just what's going on, this inverse head and shoulders, and yes, it's going to go unnoticed by many who have given up on the topic, but I'm still being very diligent, very passionate, and I'm very observant, because I'm looking for an opportunity here. I've already got, obviously, by much, over 10,000 tokens of XRP from 34 cents. I've got $2,724 or $2,724 in the XRP Bitcoin pairing, and right now at the 780 sat level, I'm down $16. So you can do the math on where I think it's somewhere around 788 is what my average. I've been bringing it way down as it came down, and at the 778 sat level, I bought $400+ more as I'm trying to build into this position until it's ready to reverse back up. And if this inverse head and shoulders plays out on XRP, the potential here is if it can play true and get on top of the move up, it could push up to 64 cents. We really could be talking about a potential setup that's going unnoticed of about a 24% rally here for XRP. That doesn't mean it's going to break the bank. That doesn't mean that it's going to, make anybody rich. Well, it could, depending on how much money you have in it. But I think it's going to show us, or it's going to play true on why the whales have been accumulating so much here. So I really do think something could be building up here, but we'll go over all of that here during the live. I do thank everybody for tuning in, and please make sure to hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this live, and so that we can help expand our audience into more people who want to be here, maybe some have gotten bored of the message. Some have gotten sick of just hearing the day in and day out. You know, the ups and downs, left and right. Some people, you know, understandably are just done. So we need to find a new expanded audience as well as the ones who want to be here so that we can continue pushing the message and continue expanding the audience. So with that being said, if you are looking to trade XRP, whether it's spot or leverage, look in the video description below and or pinned comments. You can trade on BITUNIX in the USA or worldwide. You don't need a VPN, so take advantage of that. Lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA. At the very least, don't let exchanges rip you off when you're buying and selling if you want to swing trade. Tom, welcome in, friend. True, good evening. Hopefully you're doing well in your recovery. Hopefully you're doing well in your recovery. I know recovery, when you're injured and it takes a long time, that it can drain on you mentally and physically, especially mentally. Matthew, good evening, friend. Good evening. 5:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, May 18th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. And it's very apparent that I may never get a haircut again. For anybody who knows, I promised that I would not cut my hair until XRP hit $1. And that was last July, folks. And I haven't cut my hair since. But as we can see, there's a lot of stuff playing out here. Not to mention that I burned my hair right there. I was barbecuing on my charcoal grill, and like the flame like singed the front of my head right there. It's not terrible, but you can definitely see it. You can definitely see it. So that's fun. That's fun. So so that'll be fun. But yeah, so it's gonna be a while, or it's been a while at least. My hair's getting pretty long enough to where it's being singed now when I'm cooking on the barbecue. So what I've been talking about before I did the intro, or before I was doing the intro, XRP right now, and I did put out a second update early afternoon because I felt like it needed to be warranted. Like, this inverse head and shoulders is very much playing out. It's very much playing out. And if this does, XRP will go so high you will need a razor close cut. Yep. In time, that's what the plan is. In time, the plan is certainly to get that cut, you know? It's been a while. It's been a nice long while now, so, you know, it's definitely needed. I mean, I'm sure everybody can see that's pretty long now. So, you know, it's getting into the summer months now. Now it's getting hotter, so my head's hot. The whole head's hot. So, Kryptonian, welcome in. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Meteor. Much appreciated. But it really does look like we have an inverse head and shoulders playing out here. And at the very least, we would come up to like 57 cents. If it plays out at least in a fashion that you would expect it to. And it's one of those things, it's where would you catch the next buy? And it's been my speculation all day that if you let this grind down, and let's just say it does make its way down here, it seems like the most likely spot would either be that 51.6 area, or it would be right on this cup and handle support, and it would be suggesting right at the 51.3 cent level roughly, and then that's where you could get your bounce. And then if you push past the mid-tier handle resistance, which is around 57 cents, it does open the door. It opens the door to the cup and handle resistance, and that suggests 69 up there. But there is a lower resistance that I talked about at 64. So, I mean, this is what can happen. This is what can happen. And it'll be curious to see. I would love to know. Does anybody think that that can play out in the inverse head and shoulders fashion? Or do you think that this is not going to happen? I'm just curious. Do we think that inverse head and shoulders can play out in this This short pattern that I have is just that. This is the short-term consolidation. We're still speculating that this is a bull flag instead of just a bear flag because of how far it pulled up. So that's the speculation here, and that this could drive us out and at the very least get us to 57 cents. But it remains to be seen if this can play out in a true fashion. Obviously, what I showed at the top is the 64 cents. But it makes me feel like we're pretty bullish here. News on the 22nd whales. I mean, it lines up perfectly if it is. And like the only thing that drive us out of this area, like by no means am I saying it's bullish if it pushes up here. But it can happen. It can happen. You've had resistance, resistance. Now what if it comes up here for another resistance? It's possible, even if it gets rejected. But it's curious right now. Right now, for the first time in a little while, I'm looking at it and I'm like, you know, it's looking a little bullish here. This is kind of a bullish setup. Even if it's just to come for a rejection, it's still a bullish setup. At least for where it's at. Now the only question is where can you hammer home a nice buy? And to me, that 51.6 cent level, I think I'd be willing to take a shot from there. And on some kind of swing. Michael, welcome in from Vegas, my friend. I greatly appreciate you tuning in on this Saturday evening. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. Especially on a nice Saturday here. It's nice here in Michigan. Nice weather. But I am watching the potential here of this reversal. Because I think it's going to catch a lot of people off guard. Hell, it would have caught me off guard if I wasn't watching this every day, to be honest with you. Mick, welcome in, and thank you for tuning in from the west coast of Canada. My brother into the north, eh? I think that's pretty cool. We have a pretty nice Canadian following here. It's nice. It's nice. I'm surrounded by friends and when I'm here. Jorge, a long weekend there in Canada. Is it now? Julie, what's the holiday for Canada this weekend? They said they have a long weekend in Canada this weekend. Interesting. Yeah, we don't have a long weekend here. We just have our Memorial Day next week. Right, Julie? Or the weekend. I don't know. Memorial Day is coming up. I think maybe not next week. Maybe the week after. It's the last week of the month, right? Yeah, so 2 weeks. But we're cooking right now. We have on our charcoal. I bought a Weber charcoal grill. Well, a charcoal barbecue, as I've told you guys. And it's the first time we're cooking on it, but I bought a whole turkey breast. So that we can, it's like being smoked, sort of. The way it's set up. So, should be good. It's been cooking since about 12:30. Not this Monday, Julie. Next Monday. They said is Memorial Day. We won't? So we're going to be bored. Wouldn't you put the corn on? I'd say let's be ready to eat around 7. At 7. Is that good? Okay. So now the speculation would be if you're an XRP, or if you're looking to expand, or if you're looking to leverage trade XRP or just do a swing trade, your question would be where would the position be to buy in to hit that rally? And I really am speculating here, but everything that I'm seeing, it seems like a pretty nice area. If we could get this further pushed down here, and I'm not saying it's going to happen 100%, but I am really targeting this 5170 area. Anywhere between that 513 and 517. And the reason I say that is because you do have this cup and handle formation, and I am not willing to discount the importance of a possible pushback here. I would just like to think that it hit here last time around the 512. Now it comes around, and maybe it does hold at 517. And you can see in the 30, that's the 200 day. But more importantly, in this pattern formation, that would put you in that exact same spot. So maybe that would be the new area of support, so it doesn't even have to come all the way back down to the handle support. And it would miss it. Even though it's close, that's what I'm hoping that we're about to signal here. So we can get validation by holding where I have that bounce point. And then the short-term technical target at minimum would be that 53.7 cents. So there is an opportunity that is presenting itself with XRP. And the biggest part of it is this inverse head and shoulders. And I think it's really obvious here. I really do think it's obvious. And it's one of those things. It's when everybody disappears, it finally sets up something that you can be excited about. Ba-boom, 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 and out. And then if you look at it from a longer scale or how far it can go, if I put this in the 2 hourly, it could come all the way back up to the top of this formation. It could come up to where a good target would be. If it breaks out of the short term, you should be able to bring this. So if you look at, and this is what, yes, there's a short term cup and handle, but if you look at it from the longer scale, so if you come from up here and you go, ba-boom, left shoulder, ba-boom, head, ba-boom, wouldn't it mean like maybe the right shoulder has to bounce up and you could come all the way up? That's what ends up happening. Yeah, you have the short term, but it's really indicative of what's really going on. And then if you start building it, what if that is the real inverse head and shoulders? So it might not just be a move up to 57. This could in fact be a move all the way to 64. And then you'd get, even if it's rejected, you got this boom in the sand, left shoulder, foot, arm, leg. I mean, that's, to me, that's what could be building out. And that's what gets me excited, because what if this is playing out? What if this is what's playing out? And yeah, you can't guarantee anything, but I can tell you the fact that it's starting to push out like this in that inverse head and shoulders in the shorter time frame is starting to give a little bit of credence to the fact that you might be looking at something like this. And to me, that's rather exciting. Remember when I asked if I was crazy with Bitcoin? When I said, is Bitcoin going to go to 66,600 and retest that area? And most said I was crazy. Well, this is another case. Am I crazy to see this here, that this could be the potential setup that's playing out? I might be. And it might just roll over, and we'll know. We'll know if it rolls over. We would absolutely know, but I would love to hear. I would love to hear from everybody. And if you are tuning in, please make sure to hit that like button so that YouTube recommends this live. As it's a struggle being a crypto influencer at this time, because a lot of people just don't care about crypto anymore. A lot of people, right when they got slapped in the face too many times where they said, I'm tired of being a victim, they decided to leave, not realizing they were given an opportunity. And once they stop paying attention, is typically, like I said, the more buzz there is, the less bullish I am. The less buzz, you can often tell when a breakout's coming. There will be less and less people watching because they just don't care anymore. And that's usually when they strike. And then you'll get a bunch of people to 2-3 times what's in here, and the price is just steady or going down, but everybody's still happy because it just came up 50% or 30% or 100%. And then it slowly works its way down. It's almost like we can watch the capitulation happen here within the viewers. So now I'm very bullish. The fact that there's so little buzz right now makes me very bullish. XGTT says it's dark and hell is hot. It sure is. It sure is. But look at it right now. Look how low. Like if you type in for cryptocurrency the topic, look how low the viewer count is. If you look at some of your favorite YouTubers who have 10 times the viewers I have, look how much their viewership is down. You're not really going to be able to notice it a lot in mine. A little bit maybe, because I don't get the extravagant amount of views, but I still get the consistent amount of views. But you can certainly see it. The buzz is dying down in crypto, and this is good. The point here is when the buzz dies down, when there's less traffic, when there's less word of mouth and more people talking off, saying how bad crypto is, when you get some of these bigwigs out in the media talking about why you shouldn't be in crypto, and why it's a toxic thing, or like what they said about XRP. This is the kind of stuff I live for. Ready? XRP 2.0. Now, this isn't the exact topic, but, well, I guess it is the topic, but look what Peter Brandt said. Look what he said. So this is what I like to see. So, legendary trader Peter Brandt says XRP looks headed to zero against Bitcoin. And this is what you want to read. You want to see this conjecture and bullshit, because this is how you know the typical trader is going to get scared away. So veteran trader Peter Brandt thinks XRP may plummet in value against Bitcoin as the pair approaches all-time lows. Brandt tells his 728,900 followers on the social media platform X that XRP Bitcoin pair is in danger of moving below its long-term range low. According to the seasoned trader, the target for the range breakout based on classical charting principles is 0.000002. From a pure classical charting point of view, that is, this chart looks like it's headed towards 0. So he's talking about the XRP Bitcoin pair, and the same one that we're seeing promise in, going to 0. So this is what I'm saying. I like to see stuff like this. So going even deeper than what he's saying about XRP going to 0, XRP drains holders. And somebody else came out, and I don't know if XRP, somebody just came out and also put a bad name or bad representation under XRP. Damn, I can't find it now. Maybe it'll pop up in one of my searches later, but we've had a lot of bad stuff that people are talking about XRP. Oh man, I'll remember it too. It might not be today. It might not be today. But man, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. But between all the people that are bad-mouthing XRP and the other ones that have these lofty expectations, it's almost like, where do you land in the middle? A lot of people don't know where to land in the middle. Because just as many people that say it's a pile of shit, you've got even more people saying it's going to 10,000. So it's almost like a back and forth with your mental emotions. But let me tell you, if you stay on the right track here, you're going to see opportunity when everybody else is telling you it's not there. I see opportunity right now. I see opportunity, just like we've seen opportunity in XDC, and we're letting that just ride up here a little bit as I bought 81,000 tokens at the 359, 356. I have no idea anymore. But we see opportunity here building. I see opportunity building with XRP. I see opportunity for the ones who keep paying attention here day in and day out. And if Peter Brandt says XRP Bitcoin pairing is on the verge of going to all-time lows, it makes me even more confident that we're about to move up. If he's telling his 700,000 followers on X that it's about to go down to all-time lows, I think it's about to go up. When everybody is telling me that everything is bearish, I'm becoming more bullish. The last time everybody told me shit was as bearish as it is when everybody told me I was a jackass because silver was a bad investment, or gold was a bad investment, or B2 gold was a bad investment. So while everybody was in their meme coins and now they're losing their ass because they didn't know to sell or when to buy, I made the simple trades with my profits. Since 21, I've been showing everybody with profits in crypto. You put your money to the side that you need to buy back in with when it goes back into a bear market, but your profits you put into silver, as I was teaching at $16, $17 an ounce, all the way through about $24 an ounce when I was willing to buy it, or $25. Same thing I was showing everybody in buying gold at $1,600 and back up, but I wouldn't buy it again when it got over near $1,900, $1,950 because of the gold-silver ratio, got all the way up to 95. The same thing that I was telling everybody with B2 gold, how it was a very easy way to make money, and it was one of the easiest buys I've ever seen in my life. Did I not tell everybody this at $2.53? I showed it and I said I put $7,264 in B2 gold at $2.53, and I said this is going to be the easiest money I ever make in my life and nobody even cares. And right now I'm up 14.7% in just about 2.5 weeks. Yeah, that's over $1,000 that I was able to make in B2 gold. Not to mention, when I first bought it, it was at a 6.4% dividend. Now it's settled in at 5.8% or 5.6%, I'm sorry, 5.65, which it should settle in when it gets to its proper price to about 4.8%. So they're willing to pay you. So I'm trying to show ways for us to evolve our holdings. And the best investment I've ever made in my personal life is not the mining stocks or crypto. It was my bullion. My precious metals. The gold and silver is going to take me home. The crypto is going to help evolve what I'm able to do. But the gold and silver, while the US dollar is going to continue to get hammered, the gold and silver is going to keep rising to exponential levels. to realize that I have some silver I bought at 13 bucks an ounce and some gold around 14, 1500. It almost makes me look at it like, oh my God, I would have just spent that money anyhow. And now that money's worth, some of those silver bullion, those ounces I have, the silver rounds or the silver, those ounces are worth, you know, instead of 13, 14 bucks when I first started buying them, they're now worth 31. You know, and I'm only 41, or I'm 41, not yet. I will be. See, I keep saying I'm 41 and I'm not. I'm only 40, damn it. But I keep telling everybody I'm 41. What's going on here? So, I'm not 41 till December. Wales, Josie Wales, thank you so much for the $9.99 donation. I greatly appreciate that sign of respect and show of support. I really do. You don't even understand how important that is for me. You understand, that's why you're sending it. But, I appreciate that. XRP, Ricky Ripple, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Arm. I believe you're in for 3 months already. I think that was the XRP predictor, and you're welcome for the MEXC tip. He's a fan of MEXC, and I am too. It's just in the USA you can't use it. But I'm glad that you're enjoying it, because so am I. I built in over $2,700, about $2,724 in the XRP Bitcoin pair. And right now it's one whole... it's at 777 when I bought it, or 778 when I bought it yesterday. Today it's at 777, so I can even get it cheaper today. I'm looking for a potential that, like I said, we're building into it. It could come down to 762 sat level. I don't know how much farther below that. Maybe it comes down to the 724. I don't know, though. I can feel this descending triangle getting ready. I can feel it getting ready, folks. I really can feel this. And, man, I want XRP to go down to that 517 or 514 real bad. And I know some of you will say, well, Tom, if we buy XRP at those levels, where would your stop loss be? And I'll make it very, very simple for everybody. Very simple. In my opinion, if it were to break 51.1 cents, out. Out. There's no reason. It should never come down here. Now, yes, it's a risk that it could come down here and then somehow bounce back up. But in this current setup, I would say under 51 cents is a no-no. So 5099, 51 cents. And on a 10x trade, if it's at 516, let's say you do, I'm doing this based on 750 bucks because that's what I'm going to do. On a 10x trade, that's about a $77 risk if it breaks through there and you get stopped out. On a 35x trade, that's going to be about 275 bucks right there. So my suggestion would be, on this kind of a setup, I would probably go with the 10x trade if you want to be high risk, just so that maybe you could pull it back to the neckline, and maybe it would, but still, I would, it's going to be a risk here either way. It's going to be a risk, and you're just going to have to be able to tolerate that risk if you were taking this trade. So, but I would definitely hunt down between 514 and 517 is where I'm hunting. And I've been hunting all day, and I've been very patient, and who knows if it's going to get down there, but I'm looking for that quick wick down to where it'll have a quick spike back up. And even if it gets a rejection at 537 area, so be it. I would still be in a beautiful position. But high risk, high reward in these situations, because it's not at any set support resistance area. We're just trying to get some continuation, but again, I'm honored and privileged to see you guys and gals that came out today. I'm gonna go grab another water as I drink mine, and it's I'm very thirsty as it's a little warm out. Then we'll relax together, and then we'll take a look at the XRP Bitcoin pairing. But just study this real quick. Does that seem plausible to 68 people here that inverse head and shoulders is gonna play out? Alright, sorry about that, everybody. I just had to grab some more water. I did not know I was going to go through my whole bottle of water in a half hour. But I want to throw this into the recycling bin because I don't want the plastic on the ground. I like to pick up the garbage so that it's not floating around. Okay. So, I apologize. Oh, 10 people left. Well, that's okay. 10 people left when I got my water. XRP Ricky Ripple, thank you so much for the $10 donation. I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, I think the chart looks pretty damn good myself. I really do. And you know, I must say, I actually feel a little bit relieved because sometimes when there's a lot of people, there's a lot going on. I feel like we're able to just take a breath. It's not moving so quick. And how many people enjoy it more that are here on a daily basis when there's not so many people in here to where it feels overcrowded? There's something to be said for that. So I embrace these moments. I'm going to embrace these moments. Can you look at AMP? I took a position at 0068. Absolutely, friend. I have AMP that I watch here. It's down 1.12% on the day. You took a position. Yeah. Well, the good news is your stop loss should be at about 698 according to this chart. So at least if it were to break down, you wouldn't be underwater. So you wouldn't be underwater. I would definitely watch that 699 level. If that breaks, you would definitely, there should be an opportunity for a lower level, whether it's down here at 6.9, but see, that's where you'd have to speculate. And then down here, 6.77, because that looks like a little, man, these ones are scary in the fact that they can absolutely break up in a heartbeat because they've put in this structure, put in the inverse head. Sometimes it does do that to get the pressure, so that doesn't look bad, though. That doesn't look bad. I put that inverse or reversal here. But I could see it, one of two things. It's either going to roll out, or it could find itself back here, and then a push out. Huh. It's not, this is not set up bad. In fact, this is down at the area where I thought it was an actual good buy here. If you were trying to make a play here, you actually did not buy it at a bad spot. Because it's technically like 677 is down there. Now it is you could argue that it would come down there. And now we can see this resistance that I think is very clearly formed here. This is what we're looking at, my friend. So you're trading this, just watch it like, just look at it like this. As long as it's within that formation, you're fine. You're fine. Now, I understand that maybe you don't want to ride it down too far. So that's why I said if it breaks this 699, well, then more than likely, but that's the thing, it could hold here. But if it does break this structure, it's more than likely signaling that it might want to come down here to 678. So this is a much wider formation, though. So just be aware that that can possibly play out. Because this has been building for a little while. That's the grand scale. If you look at the ascending formation. And then I broke it down into a smaller scale for you as well. So yeah, not a terrible buy. The nuts, or the actual, like the meat of this buy would be at 677. Would be around 677. So that would be where you're looking at the 100% on the money buy, if it's going to hold. But it could have already hit that support down there when it made that W. So now it's just a matter of you understand what's in front of you and you know your risk tolerance. Like, I don't know your risk tolerance, but that's what's setting up there. It's not a bad setup, though. It's really not a bad setup. Do I think Ethereum will push up higher? XLM, Uniswap, Ethereum, a lot of them, Matic, Doge, the ones that they've actually put their targets on, those can be dangerous, but it's just that it could just be a whole bunch of horse shit. Ethereum isn't going to push up. It's up 0.75%, and it could be hinting at the market reversal here. But Ethereum's popped back within a very favorable position here. Very favorable formation. Again, this much like XRP, it's trying to push back into the higher range. But for Ethereum, it's already playing through this inverse pattern. It doesn't look as pretty as XRP's, obviously. XRP's is like the prototypical. But this also came down in here, created this inversion, came up. Like, it looks like it wants to pop into here. It does. It looks like that it's setting up. And as long as this plays out as a flag, it should come up here. But you could meet a heavy resistance at that 3,217 level. That's big pivot level. That's why I have it through there. I don't often look at Ethereum, but you can certainly see I think you can see what's developing in a big way. It's breaking out here. It broke out of this inverse consolidation, and now it should retest. The fact that it came up here, it should retest in this area. The only argument is, does it need to retest this before it goes up? But we're likely only going to see that on it's going to be quick however it happens. You know, I can't predict exactly how it's going to play out, but that's how it's going to play out, whether it goes straight down from here or if it ends up bouncing up and then consolidates back. There's a little bit of steam here. A lot of it looks like this. A lot of crypto looks like this, though. A lot of crypto looks like it has the ability. And with Ethereum, it's over the 200-day and the 4-hourly. This is a prototypical reversal to the top side right now. This is a bullish continuation, it looks like. In the 2-hourly, it's looking nice. 3-hourly, you have a golden cross here in the 3-hourly, 20 cross the 200. 2-hourly, you have a 20 and the 50 cross in the 200, which is a more confirmed golden cross. So yeah, this pattern looks very nice right now. And it looks like there should be continuation. Whether we get that short-term consolidation or not is the only question. Like with XRP, that's why I keep saying, there's a very real chance that XRP is going to have a nice rally here. A very real chance. You know, this is just what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing in the market. XLM's down 0.88% right now. It has a technical move up to that resistance if it started breaking up here, which it did. And I fully expect it to be back here at this downtrending resistance area. What is that for XLM? That's around 11 cents. Now, whether it can break past that area, it's to be determined. Because if it did, if XRP came up to like 64 cents, I would expect to see XLM around 13 cents. Let's just put it that way. So can XRP, can XLM, can some of our favorites do this? Or are they going to continue to be beaten down here a little bit? XDC is starting to move a little bit up 1.29% on the day at 3.7. It's broken out of this range, and the technical target's at 381 for first layer. If it gets above that, that's when it gets exciting, because we do have a bigger target. And it was right around the well, first is somewhere around 406, but then ultimately up at this 4.4 level. So we'll see how far this can push, but we're looking at 3.81 cents as first layer. And that was initially what we bought in the 81,000 tokens for 358, 359 level. Was to have that initial first area and to see if it could break out. So I'll continue to watch that as the days go on. But I am super excited about XRP right now. It's like I feel like I'm waiting in limbo for this little bit of a correction because I want to see some kind of rebound. I want to see something that gives it that rebound ability. We do have a golden cross. And think about this. A golden cross in the 2-hourly with the 20 cross in the 200 and the 50 just crossed the 200 here recently. In what perfect way than a hold at 517 and then a big parabolic spike. I am targeting that area very hardcore, and I've been very patient all day. And I feel like I will probably take a shot. I will probably take a shot at some kind of swing trade because I love XRP. I made some money on XRP Friday into Saturday, as most of you know. Made $270 something. And that was on a not often taken, but I discussed it. It was a 35x trade, and it panned out. I didn't have any stop loss on. I bought it. I seen what I thought was going to happen. I went to bed with the solace of I may have just cost myself $600 because it was a $600 leverage trade. And when I woke up, it was up 200 and something. It did fantastic. So this is another situation like that. If I buy it, there will likely be no stop loss. And it would just be because I have faith in what it's going to do. But it has to show me what I want to see on this little move down. I don't chase it. If it finds its way into my lap, so be it. But all day I could have chased it anywhere from 52 all the way up to 52.5 or 6. But I'm just being patient. Even when it had little fake outs around the day, I know my number, I know my level, and I know where it makes the most sense to me. And all I can do is try to show everybody what I do. That's all I can try to do. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not being the most popular person. But I am, I live with the solace and the faith in the fact that I'm showing you exactly what I know, and I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. And there's no incentive for me to lie to you, because I don't do any of the paid sponsorships, advertisements, or any of that bullshit. So I can just tell you what I know and what I believe is going to happen. And you know, when we make some money here again, like we always do, we'll get more people flooding in. But that, like I always say, those are the people I don't even care about. I do care, but I don't really want to talk to, because I know they're sitting there. I know that they could be putting in a constructive, helpful side here. But they, you know, like most people, when the times get tough, they'll disappear. Well, I'm telling you, when it gets like this is when you should be opening your eyes and ears, and maybe your wallets a little bit, and understanding that there is a lot of fucking opportunity here. For the ones who are here, did you ever think you would see gold at $2,414 on a weekly close? Did you ever see you would see silver up 6.49% in one day and be at $31.49 an ounce? Did you think you would see B2 gold already at $2.90 when just a few short weeks ago it was at $2.53? I mean, these are very nice ways to make a very nice, healthy amount of money. Very healthy amount of money. We don't need the iSilver Trust as my option. I flipped out of that before when I had a healthy, and I put it into B2 gold when it was at $2.53. I flipped that option, and it's at $3.50 maturity by January of 25. So I'm that's a very healthy position that's already up. So I'm trying to show tricks of the trade here while we're waiting for crypto. There's a lot of money to be made. And even in crypto, we're making a lot of money. It's just not in the way most people think. Sometimes you got to buy and sell quick. But I have plans for certain things. Like XRP hasn't done dick yet. Hasn't done dick. Stanley says, I followed Tom for almost a year. Most genuine guy on YouTube, bar none. His heart is in the right place. Anyone that says otherwise is just ignorant, but that's okay. That's on them. Thank you, Stanley. Been following for almost 3 years. He'll be one of the first to get the 3-year emoji badges. YouTube's going to let me put that in, I believe, next month. I got to wait for that. And then it takes like 4 to 6 weeks for the approval sometimes. But I'm very excited about that. But yeah, I try to be just, I am who I am. You know, and I just try to show what I do. And it doesn't always make sense. But it makes money. I got to live somehow. But it always keeps me on my game. That's why some would think that it's more motivating when I have 150 or 200 people in here when times are good and everything's pushing. But I am more motivated when there's 50, 60 people in here, because I know the bunch that's in here, there's less of the jokers. There's less of the ones who are trying to make my show into a sham, or the community. There's more people who are legitimately looking for an opportunity and smelling the fact that there's something building and it's going unknown. Like, these are the unknown. I love this time. I love this time. Dump for sure has been with us that long as well. That is awesome. That is so awesome. Stanley says, yeah, man, it's obvious you're about smart investing, not chasing pumps. That's right, Stanley. And I look for opportunity. Like right now, the reason why I'm big on XRP today is that inverse head and shoulders. That is a very real pattern formation. And for anybody who doesn't know, and this could find its way at 507. That is the one scary part. But where it's at, that's why you'd be playing the fact that it would hold this area between 514 and 517. That's the only thing we'd be looking at. We've had this play out once. We had what looked like an inverse head and shoulders back here, and it played out. It just got rejected at the top, and we restarted it again. But you had a very similar setup here. Not as clean. Admittedly, not even near as clean. But it did do something like that, and then it consolidated. So the argument is here is, like we said, this could be a much bigger pattern that's drawn out here. And it gets rather exciting when you start to look at this and see what could really be building here. Like, what really could be building is this could be a long-term consolidation that, yeah, it should typically break down because it's a rising channel. But if it doesn't break down, like, it looks like this latter part's on a bull flag. I don't care what anybody says. This part looks like it's on a bull flag to me. And that was the first thing that caught my attention. When it dropped down, oftentimes you'll get what looks like a bear flag, but there's a bull flag in disguise. And even if bearish, it would come up and then do this and create a Batman illusion. Or even up here and create the Batman. Or the 1, 2, triple top, you know, and done. So it does look like to me, though, that this was a bearish setup, but it's more of a bullish move. So I'm going to continue to be on top of this. And if it breaks down, we'll continue to look at that opportunity as well for the accumulation. Because if it goes sub 40, I'm back on to full on accumulating. But that doesn't mean that I'm not building opportunities in other places. I really believe the XRP Bitcoin pairing, and I could be dead wrong, is going to be a beautiful play here in the weeks to come. And it's not just today's opportunity. I'm talking about when this is done consolidating. And as I said, when it was at 810, I want it to drop down to that 778 or 772 sat level. And then if it goes to 722, so be it. I'll buy it in proposition, or in the amount that makes sense. So when it was at 81, 82, 807, 83, I was buying like 50 bucks a day. It got down to the 79. I bought 427 one day. And then it was at 778 and I bought another 400 and something. So it's a lot different mindset. If it goes down to 720, I'll probably buy another 400. And everything in between I'll be buying. And this could be a $4,000 to $5,000 position in time. And it just depends. You know, but there's a lot to be said with understanding your capital and understanding how to disperse it. It's like going to war. If you don't understand how to put the infantry out there, you can be depleted very quickly. If you don't know where to put your troops and you allow them to get slaughtered, it's going to be a very quick battle. But if you understand the strategy and where to align your troops and where to align the strategic points of placement, you can win the war. But it's not won in the very first move. You know, it's really not. It's okay that it deleted that chart. It doesn't bother me. I'll just put it back up. Really doesn't bother me now, though. It used to bother me when it would do that. But it deleted my USDTP MEXC chart. That's the, this one. That's the one that I have on there. For the record, that's the one that I use for this shorter time frame. And it's much more volatile, and it gives us the lowest targets. But I appreciate this chart. And this is where I also have this short-term pattern set up. But I really think that there's a lot of optics that are going on to this right now. And I think a lot of people are going to make a lot of money if they just pay attention. I can't even tell you in the last 2 weeks in commodities how much I've made. Or with my precious metals holdings, I can't even tell you. But in my community, that goes unnoticed. Even though I've been beating the drum, I've had 15 or 16 silver stacking episodes, which basically went unwatched, maybe 300 views per video. Which in hindsight, I think I'm going to be doing more of that because I actually appreciate the commodities. And I know that there's lifelong wealth built into that. Cryptocurrency is more like a casino. It can make you it very quickly, but you can lose it very quickly. The stability of doing it through precious metals, now it's not as good of an opportunity. To buy a silver at $31.49 instead of buying it at 19 bucks where it was at the start of the year, it's a bit different. Or to buy gold at 2,415 bucks an ounce as to where it was at just 4 or 5 short months ago at $1,900 an ounce. It's a big difference. It's a big difference on 10 ounces. That's $5 grand that you could have made just from 1,900. You know, and it's just, there's opportunity. Opportunity comes a calling where most people don't go a walking. So if you won't go a knocking, there's an opportunity that's just waiting to be had. Just waiting behind that door. You know, it's like the Virgin. There could be a naked lady sitting behind the door, or if you're a woman, a naked guy sitting behind the door. But you're so caught up in being so afraid of what everybody's going to think. It's that mental mindset. You don't even know a sure thing is right behind that door because you're too afraid to make them, too afraid to go knocking. If you would have went a knocking, your cock would have got a rocking. I mean, I didn't just say that, did I? But you know what I'm saying. Sometimes you... That actually made sense. In all my years, that analogy's never come out like that. But it did. It did. And that'll probably make the last 60 people leave. Yeah, it was a strange analogy, wasn't it, Dread? But hey, the energy, it's in the right spot. Capo, welcome. And yeah, it has been a long time. Things are going good. Things are going good. I appreciate you for continuing in Tom's army. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing today in the market. That's what I'm seeing today in the market. We got a few minutes left here. If anybody else has anything to add in this last 8 minutes, I would love to hear it. Apparently not very many people are, feeling the vibe with XRP, which makes me feel it even that much more. So, like I've been saying during this update, what I'm looking for is XRP to settle in around 51.7 cents or somewhere between 514 and 517, and to be able to push up and out like that. So that's the opportunity I'm looking at. There's this inverse head and shoulders set up. I would like to see it hold to 517, but if it does, or 516, if it does come down a little bit farther and it does have to hold this cup and handle area, so be it at the 513 level, but I really don't want it to come all the way back down there. I'd like some strength to be shown just a little bit higher on that pattern that's in the very short term that's emerged, but only time will tell if that ends up happening. I get that wish. With Bitcoin, we've talked about it's down 164 points. Maybe we haven't talked about it yet, but Bitcoin is still on a breakout attempt, folks, and that's this inverse head and shoulders. And I think XRP is just a little bit behind, or actually pretty much not behind, but I think XRP is getting ready to do a breakout, and Bitcoin very well could be on the start of a push to 88K. That's the honest to God truth. If it broke bullish out of this pennant flag consolidation, it very well could push up to 88K. It very, very well could. You do have a big resistance around 71,700 and 73,800. But honestly, this could very well have a big push. If it's a fake out, it would get rejected either at 71.7 or 73.7. So just pay attention. So Cleo, they will be eating their negative words soon, Tom. They sure will. But hey, when you get stones casted, you could either take it and take a beating, or when people are casting stones at me, I could build a beautiful garden out of those stones, a beautiful border around the garden. So I'm choosing to build a beautiful foundation with all those stones instead of taking it personally. I think we're going to build something. Well, we already are building something special. But I think what goes unnoticed is some of the things that we all know that are in here that we're building together that we don't even need to talk about. Like XRP Healthcare, I started buying this at 1.7 or 1.9 cents. I've got an average at 2.7 cents, and I've had it staked, or 2.6, 2.7, whatever, I don't care. It's been staked 55,700 tokens for almost 2 months now, at 20% for 6 months. And yeah, if you want to unstake it before the 6 months is over, there's a 10% unstaking fee. So yeah, be cautious if you're doing that on the XRP Healthcare app through their own wallet. But this is something that I'm happy about. I know this consolidation is going to take a while. So to me, the staking made sense. And even if it comes back down, so be it. So be it. It's a 20% gain in 6 months regardless. So I'm looking at it for the long term, because there's only going to be staking allowed for so long because they only have so many tokens to give out, and it's written into their roadmap. So I'm taking advantage of this very closely. And I just hope there's a few of you that are along for the ride. Especially, if there anybody here right now, there's 60 people. Is there anybody here right now that has any kind of precious metals, gold, silver, maybe a mining stock, because you watched this channel and you started buying when I was imploring everybody to, like when I was putting my profits, I always put profits towards it. And I went a little crazy in 23 when we had all those pullbacks in gold and silver, which I'm so glad I did now. I look at my money, I'm like, where the hell is all my money? And then I'm like, oh yeah. Whale says, thank you, Jesus, and thank you, Jesus, for Tom. Let's roll. Amen to that. And don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ here on this most holy of days on this Saturday. I just consider Saturday the most holy day of the week. At least through the scripture I've read. But I do like to go to church on Sunday morning. I look forward to going back for the first time in a couple weeks because my son was hospitalized and sick. So I feel good about being able to walk up there tomorrow and going to give thanks to the Lord. Louisville bought $500 worth. That's good. At least you bought some. At least you bought some. JW says he bought silver indeed. Excellent. Stanley, Sabbath equals Saturday. It sure does. It sure does. What a beautiful audience we have. Louisville at just under 18. See, you're listening to the message. Man, I went crazy at those prices, Louisville. And we just got those about, what, a year ago was 18 bucks. We had a little moment there. I'm financially embarrassed, no precious metals. Well, if I'm being honest, I believe that the statistic says over 91% of people don't own a single precious metal. So it's not that you need to be embarrassed, it's just you're in the minority, you're in the majority. If you own precious metals, you're in the minority. If you do what I do, most people put their money in the bank and do all this other stuff. Whales, 40 ounces of gold and 2,400 ounces of silver. All right, you're doing very well, sir. Very well. I don't have as much as you, but I'm very happy with what I've done. So when most people put their money in their savings account or all this other stuff, I've put, and this is no joke, since 2011 or 2021, 2019, I've put 75% of all expendable cash into precious metals. So whatever was left over after bills that should have went into a savings, I put into precious metals. And I kept that mindset for a long time until the last year, or last 6 months, when precious metals got to a level to where I was like, all right, I'm done. And you should never be done, but that's what I decided to do. Your ex took care of what money I had. Yep, that's... And honestly, truth be told, XRP is what got me $14,000 roughly in precious metals from 21 trading. I had an excellent trade in 2021, as some of you know who were here. We bought at 47 cents on average. We sold at $1.66 in between XRP, which was the majority, but I also had XLM that I sold for a few 100%. I had DGB that I sold for 300%, a little bit of V-Chain, a little bit of XDC. But I took all that money except for $3,500 I kept for XRP off the top. And then I also kept, over time, another $3,000 for all my other cryptos that I in fact bought back when we were in the bottom of a bear market and got to sell for 200% and 300% profit after about a year and a half of holding. But I was able to put down a bunch of money into gold and silver and showed everybody how to do it over and over and over again. Over and over. If anybody goes and watches those silver stacking videos, there's one in particular where I start showing how to buy with crypto, because I had made a beautiful couple trades in a row that made me a few $1,000s that everybody who was watching the show would have as well if they traded with me. I made about $6,000 to $8,000 in a very short amount of time. And instead of spending it or putting it in, you know, buying some bullshit I don't need, or going to some stupid club, or going to the bar, which I don't do, or going to some bullshit that I don't do, that most people do, I just bought precious metals, and I showed people over a period of about 2 weeks, me buying on Scottsdale Mint, showing how quickly the delivery was and how trusted it was and all this other good stuff. just to try to teach and show that you can send crypto and you can do it that way. Yeah, Scottsdale Mint. Well, they're in the USA. So when I buy bullion, when I was buying with money, I haven't bought any in about 6 months for transparency. No, about 4 months. No, 3 months. Because when we had that pullback in silver and gold, that last time gold went to 1900 and silver went to, I believe it was 18, 19. It was under 20. I decided to buy a pretty decent amount. As I dispersed with everybody, we put a rather large amount into it because I didn't want to hold it in cash anymore, and that was an opportunity, and that just was one of the most incredible decisions we've ever made. So yeah, Scottsdale Mint, they're online, or you can do it online, but they're one of the most reputable ones. They make bullion for USA, around the USA, but when I do it with crypto, I buy through Scottsdale Mint. And then when I do it through my ACH, which is my direct bank, I do it through JM Bullion. But everybody, I got to go. I'm getting ready to eat dinner with Julie. I thank everybody for tuning in during this live. It's been an honor and a privilege. Thank you all so much for staying diligent. And I really appreciate each and every one of you. You mean the world to me, and I'll be back tomorrow. Rain, shine, or indifferent, I'm going to be here every day for the lives again because I have a new passion to be here, especially when there's less people. I want to take advantage of it because we have a more intimate conversation. Make sure you pay attention to the precious metals. Pay attention to this opportunity with XRP, as I believe that inverse head and shoulders is in fact playing out before our very eyes. I'm looking at that 51.7 cent area. I think is a good snipe zone. If we get back there, it's the question. I don't know. But I feel like that would be a perfect spot to bounce off of. Have a blessed